Hi everyone, welcome to World Fringe Day. All looking very lovely.
Thank you. So are you?
Hello.
Why don't you all introduce yourselves and your Fringe Festival? Michelle, why don't you go first?
Sure. My name is Michelle Gallant. I'm the festival director and producer of the Calgary Fringe Festival, all the way in Western Canada in the Rocky Mountains. And my Fringe Festival is coming up soon. It starts on Friday, August 2nd and runs through Saturday, August the 10th. And we have 28 Fringe artists from all across the globe. Furthest one being Victoria, Australia, and one from Berlin, Germany, so a couple from the UK, and some, of course, from the States and stuff. And we usually have an attendance of about between 8,000 to 9,000 people. Yeah. And so we have like 5 main stage venues. So over, 220 performances over the 9 days. So yeah, it's silly season at the moment, but I love it. It's like Christmas in summer.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Shayla, how about you?
My name is Shayla Batchelder, and I'm with the Pittsburgh Fringe. And Pittsburgh is on the west side of Pennsylvania. And we're a pretty small festival, and we're just had our 6th year in April. We're always the first weekend in April. And we just had some big changes this year. We changed our format. We are now much more like the Edinburgh Fringe and Hollywood model, where we bring in the venues as stakeholders, and they take care of the tech for the shows. So that was a big change for us this year. We changed neighborhoods. We're now in the Bloomfield, Garfield, East Liberty area of town, which is a very hip, artsy part of town. It's been really great. We have really good, we have an award ceremony. So we give out a lot of awards. We have independent reviewers come to almost every show, which is pretty exciting. And we like that we're kind of at the beginning of the whole US-Canadian cycle. So it's a good place to stop and get some reviews and hopefully an award before you go do all your other shows. We had about 100 different performances of 50 different shows this year. That we about doubled in size this year. So that was pretty amazing.
That's cool. Gosh, so lots of changes for you then.
Absolutely, yeah. It's been great.
Oh, cool. Ben, tell us about you.
Hi, I will tell you about me. My name is Ben Hill. I'm with the Hollywood Fringe Festival. This was our 10th year doing the Fringe in Los Angeles, sunny Los Angeles, California. Where, as it turns out, there is quite a lot of theater companies, quite a lot of opportunities, because, all those darn actors in Los Angeles. This was our largest year. We had just over 400 shows, just over 2,000 performances, about 2,000 artists participated with us, at least those that registered on the site. And we definitely had a banner year. We haven't announced ticket numbers yet. We just ended 2 weeks ago. Good Lord. We're in the midst of extensions right now, which goes on for another 4 months or so. But it's definitely the biggest sales we've ever had. Like, it was full house, sold out run, one after the other. So it's a whole lot of fun. Everyone's welcome in Hollywood.
Oh, wow. That sounds amazing.
That was great.
Some of you have touched upon how artists get involved, but if somebody watching wanted to perform at one of your festivals, how does that work? What happens?
How do you get people involved?
Well, I know for the Canadian Fringes, basically what we do is we have a lottery draw or first come, first served system. So everybody has an equal chance of participating. So it doesn't matter if you're a brand new person that's never done theater before to a person that's done theater forever, you all have an equal chance of participating. And, you know, kind of the Canadian Association of Fringe Festivals model is, you know, it's about inclusivity, not exclusivity. So we invite everybody to participate. Right, so it's kind of fun that way. It's, I think of it like a potluck supper. You kind of get like a little bit of everything, and we just like invite artists from all across the globe to come and play.
Yeah, brilliant. And do you get an international contingent in your festival?
Yes, yeah, we do actually. Usually with our international artists, we have about 7 spots, and we usually get between 50 and 60 applications, you know, from internationally for those spots. So yeah, I think especially from the UK, we get quite a bit that come from the UK. Germany, like I said, that's one of the ones that we're seeing a little bit of an uptick from, and Australia as well. So yeah, it's kind of neat. And of course, from, you know, everywhere in the States too that come up as well. So
lush, love it. Shayla, how do people get involved in your festival if they want to perform there?
So they just apply online, and then we give them a list of venues that want to participate, and they're also welcome to go find their own venue in the Fringe Zone. And if they can find a venue, they're in. So yeah, it's pretty easy and very inclusive, of course.
Yeah, perfectly open access.
What?
Totally open access.
Yes, open access now. Yeah, it's very exciting.
Yeah. And Ben, how about you guys?
Yeah, so we're Edinburgh model, and we don't have a lottery or anything like that. It's just we are blessed in our Fringe Zone with just tons and tons of fully operational theater spaces. Really nice fringe size, 50 to 99 seat theaters, fully worked out chairs, whole thing. We also have cafes and bars, and you know, there's a lot of stuff being done in vans and cars and on the street right now. So basically anybody can join. The entire process is handled via the web. We also have listings of every conceivable venue that's already participating. So people can come see a venue tour of a venue that's participating. Or if you're local or if you're visiting, you can scout out your own unique place. We have a significant, you know, suddenly category of immersive shows as well. And they tend to go wherever they go. I went to an immersive show in a park. I've been at a hamlet in a van. So it really, it's pure open access. Anybody can join at any time, and we welcome you.
Yeah, love it. And in Hollywood, people tend to drive about, don't they, rather than walk? Is that true, or is that a myth? And how does that?
There's a new class that I consider myself a part of that embraces public transportation. But yes, it is a town where people do drive. Within the Fringe Zone, it's nice is that about 70% of the venues are walkable by, say, New York or London standards, not necessarily LA standards where you have to walk a block and people complain. But everything is roughly within, say, a third of a mile, easily walkable.
Yeah, no, that's really good. Michelle, how about the vicinity of your venues? How does that fit?
Yeah, we're within a walking distance as well. I mean, any of our venues from our main box office tent is like an easy 5-10 minute walk. And we have 2 downtown venues, which is like walking is about a 20-minute walk. So those would be our furthest ones. We call them our satellite venues. But otherwise, no, everybody is like pretty much in a centralized location, which is really nice for our patrons because they like to kind of like park once, go walk, catch a couple of shows. So it's kind of nice.
Is Calgary the oldest Fringe in Canada? Am I right in thinking that? Is the first?
No, you're Edmonton.
Edmonton.
Oh,
yeah, Edmonton's the oldest. They're 30, oh, I can't remember, 35, something like that years old. We're only 14 years old. So we're still a baby. We're calling ourselves, we have a heart on for the Calgary Fringe because playoff on Valentine's Day, the 14th.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
sweet. Shayla, how about you? How are your venues situated?
Yeah, we're about 1.5 miles up and down Penn Avenue, and Penn Avenue has bikes you can jump on. It's got buses going up and down all the time. So even if you don't want to walk, it's very easy to not use your car. There's also lots of parking. So yeah, it's within 1.5 miles. So depending on how much you like to walk, you can walk to everything if you wanted to, right?
Brilliant. So all of you, in terms of kind of connecting to other festivals, do you have any links? Michelle, you touched upon the Canadian Association of Fringe Festivals. Do you want to we're speaking to them in a bit, but would you want to briefly talk about that?
Yeah, so the Canadian Association of Fringe Festivals was kind of formed by a lot of the different Canadian fringes back in the early 1990s. And basically it started off as, you know, connecting with each other, sharing successes, sharing challenges. And we've grown and to the point where we're now like a separate nonprofit entity. And we get together post Fringe time every November, and we still share our successes and challenges, but we also talk as a collective on how we can promote the Fringe movement. How can we better support the artists? How can we support new up and coming Fringe festivals that maybe want to start? So I'm on the chair of the membership committee, for example. So kind of my way of paying it forward is talking to those up and coming Fringe festivals and giving them a leg up and giving them suggestions on what to do and how to best to get started and best practices and that type of a thing. So yeah, it's really nice supportive environment. I know for the Calgary Fringe, it was great to have that mentorship support from the different fringes around. So yeah, it's a really nice organization to be a part of. And of course, you guys, the World Fringe Network, is like another avenue in. So yeah, it's really great. I love it.
Brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
How about Shayla? Have you got any local fringes that you link up with?
We go to Scranton and Rochester a lot, and I also go to Edinburgh a lot, so we meet a lot of people out on the road, and then we go to as many other fringes as we can. But we're also, all the U.S. fringes are part of USAF, the U.S. Association of Fringe Festivals, and we're a loosely formed organization of fringe directors across the U.S., and we actually just launched our new website very recently, usaf.org. So if you want to see what's going on at usaf.org, yeah.
Brilliant. That sounds really good. And also, Shayla, you spend your entire summer in Edinburgh every year for how many years now?
Wow, yeah, it's definitely over 20. I think I'm on 23 now this year. So really excited working on a show there. I'm always working with students and sharing the love of Fringe with as many new young students as I can each year.
Brilliant. Yeah. I thought I'd been going a long time, and I'm up to about 18 years, but you definitely topped that for sure. Ben, how about you? You've got local festivals and things like that, and also through the international network. How do you connect?
Definitely, yeah. There's a growing contingent of U.S. and Canadian West Coast festivals. Always like to see them and say hey to them. We're members of USAF as well. We send delegates every year for the past couple of years. We were a little late to the USAF party. We have I have a couple staffers who are really excited about creating some form of Fringe exchange program. So we haven't announced anything officially, but you might look forward to something like that, where we methodology, we need to get the funding and all of that, but with these two particular staffers, I think it's probably going to happen. so yes, we'd like to kick that off this year. You
say you were late to USAF, but you were very early to the World Fringe Congress, and that's where we met.
Yeah.
2012.
We were, because I lived in London for a long time. I went to Edinburgh quite a bit, and you guys are just so fabulous that you wanted to be in the room with you guys.
You're particularly good at beer pong.
Yeah, we played beer pong in some
Random.
random bar.
Oh,
That
back with all the right. Oh my God, what a disgusting game! Like,
good time.
yeah, that sounds like something you do in your early 30s.
Yeah, and so in terms of kind of inclusivity and diversity within your festivals, how do you ensure that you're enabling a more diverse group of artists and audiences to attend your festival? Michelle?
Well, I know for us, we do an outreach into the community. So, you know, talking to the Indigenous population and, you know, having them participate in the Fringe. We have an Indigenous artist actually participating in our Fringe this year, which we're very excited about. And then talking to different groups, like we have a group called Inside Out Theater that deals with the deaf and blind. So talking with them about having ASL interpreters, or, you know, for those that are seeing impaired, you know, depending on the show, having them, you know, basically explain, or for the hearing impaired, what's going on, right, in a show. And then we just talk to different communities out there. So like the LGBTQ community, we talk to like the Jewish Community Center, the Chinese Center. I met with a gentleman from China actually late yesterday afternoon, and he's talking about wanting to set up a Fringe out there in the, I'm trying to remember what the name is. Anyways, coast to Singapore. And he wants to like model it after CAF, which is kind of exciting. So we're, you know, discussing that. So for us, it's about going out into the community, talking to the different members, finding out what's important to them and what they would like to see, and how they want to participate in a way that, you know, has meaning to them. And then we just invite them to be, you know, a part of the group and a part of the party. So that's kind of some of the work that we do here.
Yeah, love it. Love it. How about you guys, Shayla?
Yeah, I think our move to this new neighborhood with venues that are much more diverse, owned by a very diverse range of people, has really helped us this year. We also worked, we had interpreters come in this year for the first time, so that was exciting. We also hosted, had a collaboration with a group called Dreams of Music Foundation, which helps artists with disabilities do music and get gigs. And so we had quadriplegic, paraplegic, blind, hearing impaired people playing music for us this year. And that was really exciting to have all that and that interaction with people this year.
Yeah, cool. That sounds amazing.
Really cool.
Yeah, well done, you guys. And in Hollywood, how does that, have you got initiatives set up for this?
For sure. It's really important to us. Being in Los Angeles, obviously, we're just blessed with an incredibly diverse population of artists. And we want to empower those that would otherwise not be able to participate due to mostly economic reasons to participate in the Fringe. So the past few years, we've had a scholarship program. We recently obtained a grant from the National Endowment for the Arts. Yes, federal money in this administration for the arts. to fund them. And the way it works is we have a panel, because we don't choose on the staff, so we impaneled a group of notable folk in the arts to choose 10 from about 200 applications that we get every year for the scholarship programs. We give them a free registration. We give them $550 towards venue rental, which is approximately 3 performances in Hollywood. And then we team them up with a mentor who is a Fringe veteran to show them the ropes, put them through the various producer training programs that we offer, and then to help them when it comes time to sell tickets. We actually had a scholarship show win our Best Solo Performance Award this year. So it's really exciting that this is not only a program that does some good and empowers people to tell their stories, but these stories, as it turns out, are very much, in demand from the perspective of the audience, because our awards are given by the community, which are audience members and reviewers and artists and venue managers and whatnot. So yes, it's diversity is something that we want to continue to develop at the Hollywood Fringe Festival, and we can already see a significant impact that some of these initiatives are having. So yeah.
Amazing.
You're all doing brilliantly. Well done. Before we sign off and say bye, do you want to give a shout out to any of your fellow Fringes out there, artists or festivals? Say whatever you want.
Hold on, I've got a shout out to Ben from Joshua Tree, from the.
Oh wow, fantastic! How about a shout out to Tony Lancaster, who's leaving his position in South Africa for a gig in London, and happy trails to him.
Yeah.
He's leaving the Grahamstown Festival and Fringe, South Africa. So yeah, he was there for way over 10 years. So congratulations to whatever.
A brilliant guy.
Yeah, good shout out.
We will know.
And to all Fringers everywhere, it's a wonderful, wonderful thing that we all do to give so many opportunities to people. I know we're changing lives in a lot of cases. People walk up to me and say, Fringe has saved my life in a way. So it's not just, festivals we put on for amusement. It's really having an impact on our communities. It's having an impact on the people that participate. And it's really, really important work from the staff all the way down to the artists, all the way down to the artists.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, amazing. Oh, I'm going to start crying. And Michelle, how about you? Give a shout out.
Just a shout out to everybody and the Fringes that are currently going on and the Fringes that are yet to come, and hugs to everybody.
Loads of hugs. Shayla.
Just everybody, shout out to everyone. We're so used to not picking favorites, so we don't want to pick any favorite Fringes, but we love them all, and it's so great that they're all here. So many, over 250 World Fringes. That's amazing, and it's so great that we're all working together and having these conversations together.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Fringe, celebrating all over the world, and thank you so much. You've been an absolute pleasure. And I will catch up with you, no doubt, very soon. Fringy love.
Good, you bet.